bring you the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam as explained by Paramahansa Yogananda and edited by his disciple, direct disciple, Swami Kriyananda. Today and every day we are going consecutively, my husband and I taking turns on weekdays at 12 o'clock. And today we're coming towards the end of the Rubaiyat. I believe there are 75 quatrains. And today we're on number 68. I'm going to start, as always, by playing Swami Kriyananda singing the quatrain and then offering Yogananda's paraphrase of it.
Stanza 68. That in my buried ashes such a snare of perfume shall fling up into the air, as not a true believer passing by, but shall be overtaken unaware. Paraphrase. May the remnants of my ego, consumed to ashes in the fire of spirit, expand in such a wondrous halo of light that God-seekers will be drawn irresistibly to seek Him in the holiness of wisdom and enlightenment. May my ego's ashes, buried in the garden of divine love, produce blossoms of such fragrance as will attract all seekers to the truth.
The further we are along in these stanzas, the deeper we seem to get into the truth teachings that are contained within this beautiful Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. And what I interpreted that he's talking about here in this particular stanza is that everything that we offer to God, I mean, as long as we're living in this world of duality, we have an ego. But everything that we learn to give to God and recognize that God is the doer in the process is essentially purified ego, the ashes of ego. And it is in that transcendence, in those ashes, it's not like it's a totally negative thing that has to be washed away from the face of the earth. It is that with each blossom, with each understanding that comes as we transcend that ego, to that is added the fragrance of divine love. And so we can look back at our actions from the past. Perhaps some of them were born of ignorance. As long as we come to a point where we recognize that and that we bring God into even our mistakes and our errors, they become purified. And as a result, they are blessed. And as a result of those blessings, not only do we help to cumulatively bless ourselves in the process, attain and experience higher and higher states of consciousness. But we also bless everyone we touch, every person, every animal, every plant, everything that we come in touch with is blessed from the purification of that very ego, from the ashes, as the quatrain was saying, of that purified um, act, whatever it might have been, or thought. You know, I was reflecting that it's so easy to become discouraged. It's so easy to see the ego as the enemy. It's not the enemy. The ego is the soul identified with the body. And as soon as we experience that understanding, not just intellectually with our minds, but with our very beings, the sooner we recognize that what remains is the soul, that very same soul self. There is, in the techniques that Yogananda offers, one of those techniques is the Om technique, where we listen for the inner sounds of the chakras and eventually the symphony of those sounds in the Om technique. And he tells us it doesn't matter if we don't hear that sound perfectly and purely. Whatever the sound is that we hear, listen to it. And if we listen to it with complete concentration and with an open heart and mind, we find that eventually in the listening, that very sound will take us to our own highest octave. And so it is that our very ego will take us to our own highest octave. We need to recognize that we're here to purify it, to transcend it, but it is still on some level a part of us. It is just simply singing at its own highest octave, which is the knowing and the understanding and the experience that we are a soul, we are a spark of the infinite. And so, bless you today and every day at 12 o'clock as we offer a little taste of the wisdom of Yoga